At it again, and it's been a while since we've checked out some Michael Knowles. That ends today. We got one with Michael Knowles and the Young America's Foundation, YAF. So that's what we're going to be checking out today. Make sure you guys hit that like button, all right? And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button and join the family. What are you waiting on, all right? And make sure you guys are following me on social media. All of those links are down below in the description box. Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, all that good stuff. And with that being said, let's dive in.
There's nothing compassionate about getting people stuck in generational webs of government dependence.
Everybody knows a quote, what LBJ said. He's all like, oh, we'll have these N-words voting for such and such years or whatever.
Democrat for the next 100 years.
And after I said that, she just said, oh, disregard that. The Democrats are still for the black people or whatever. They're still for us or whatever. So basically what my question is how are we going to get the truth out there? How are we going to make sure that everybody's like staying in line with the truth? How are we going to make sure that the information that everybody's getting is veritable and fact-checked? Because we have people out here that don't necessarily follow the facts. They don't necessarily believe
facts
in things based on reality. So how are we going to get that going?
Before he answers, I would say one of the great ways is showing people video evidence. You know, because people are always shocked, and I've had this conversation with a couple folks, at the things that Joe has actually said. You know, people always talk about Trump being the racist one. I'm like, no, actually it's Joe. I'm like, wait, what? No, wait. Here, check out this video. And, you know, it hits different when they actually see him saying it because they can't deny it. You just watched him say it. You'd be a fool. You should be put in a straitjacket if you said anything different, you know? Like, you just watched him say it. You didn't hear it from me, right? I pulled out my phone, did a little quick search, do. Here's the video. Check it out. So I think that's one of the great ways, because they can't refute it. People can refute what you say. Oh, you're just an extremist. You're just crazy. Man, you're lying. Oh, you probably didn't understand them right. Blah, blah. You know? And we've all got one of these. They're always around. There's lots of videos out there. You just got to find them. So, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. But let's hear what Michael has to say.
Things based on reality. So how are we going to get that going?
The key is dispelling this leftist premise that conservatives hate black people and brown people and Hispanic people and every kind of people other than like Mitt Romney, basically. You know, like just the whitest imaginable guy. You have to dispel that first, because I'm sure you were making many eloquent arguments about how leftist policies have really wreaked havoc in the black community. And Thomas Sowell has written extensively on this topic. Thomas Sowell, one of the greats of modern times. And he's written extensively about how until those massive welfare programs of the new society and the spending of the 60s and 70s, until then, in the black community, murder rates were going down, crime rates were going down, out-of-wedlock birth was going down, divorce was going down, poverty was going down. And then, as if all of a sudden, during that cultural revolution of the 60s, all the trend lines reversed. And so what the left would say is, forget about all of that. We, the leftists, like black people, and those mean conservatives hate you because of the color of your skin. And that's an argument based on identity, but it's a very strong argument. You know, I mean, if I really were to believe that some group of people hated my guts, then it wouldn't matter too much how much they lowered my taxes or fixed some problems in my neighborhoods, because I don't want to elect people who hate me. Now, the reality, of course, is that conservatives do not hate black people or anybody else. There's no, and you could make an argument for racial prejudices on the left, what Mr. Gerson referred to as the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Yep.
To say we will never expect certain social standards from you because you're just not capable of it on the basis of your skin. And that's a horrifically bigoted point of view, and it's one that the left holds, I think.
And that's another thing that more people have to be called out on. More people have to be called out on that. So you're saying black people are incapable of doing X, Y, and Z? Like the folks who say the voter ID situation discriminates against black people. Why is it black people? Why'd you just, like, I'm too stupid to figure out how to get an ID? I'm too poor to, like, just because of the color of my skin, I'm poor and I'm stupid? Really? Okay. After all of this time, with all of these opportunities, you just think like I couldn't have figured it out?
You've got to make the argument first from compassion, from dispelling this myth that the left is compassionate. It's not. There's nothing compassionate about getting people stuck in generational webs of government dependence, living in absolute abject misery and squalor, and hooked on welfare payments, and hooked in bad schools that they're not allowed to break out of. I mean, even just on that one issue of school choice, for so many people, getting into a good school can radically change your life outcomes. It is the best shot you have of getting out of poverty and of having a not only a materially prosperous life, but a spiritually and culturally prosperous life too. And you have the left, especially in inner cities, saying we're gonna lock you and trap you in failing schools where you'll learn nothing and you'll very likely join a gang. And you have conservatives going out there and saying, we need school choice, we need to encourage vouchers, we need to encourage charter schools to at least give you a chance. And what does the left do? They say, that's cruel, that's racist, that's bigoted. You've got to break that first. There's nothing compassionate about,
which is crazy. Like, how do you even make that kind of argument? Having school choice is racist? How? Like, I mean, of course they throw race into everything, but how do they even make any sense? Like, it's just, what does that have to do with race? You know, like it's so far out there. Like, I can't even think of like how they even spin that. But if you guys have seen you know, some of those arguments, let me know in the comment section how they spin that.
Trapping somebody in a cycle of poverty because you don't think that they can accomplish anything. And there's nothing worse that you can do for a young person than to say, hey, you'll never accomplish anything because the whole world's out to get you. And there's a patriarchy and there's a white supremacy and there are these structures. You can't do anything, so just sit down and shut up. There's nothing worse that you can tell a young person. And if you can show people how cruel that is, then I think only at that point can you start making arguments based on policies, based on all of those data over the years, and then we win. Yeah, great question.
Or we sit back and watch them destroy themselves. Like what's going on right now as we speak, all right? You don't even need to do a whole lot of campaigning at this point. You know, the left is just, they're eating their own. I've got another video here that we're going to jump into. Let's dive into it.
I am pro-choice, and I think I've heard Ben say that abortion is evil, but my question is, one, is it a necessary evil for population control? And my opinion is that if, you know, we're already at 325 million people right now. I think wages are stagnant. I think jobs are scarce because simply we are overpopulated. So, what
statistic can you provide to show that wages are stagnant or that we've run out of jobs?
I mean, people are struggling. People are struggling, and I'm seeing everybody.
So you should kill a whole lot of other people? I'm not tracking your logic.
Okay, so
people have always struggled.
my question is primarily, do you guys think we would be better off with an additional 60 million people in this country right now? Versus, you know, had we aborted them.
Yeah, so there's this other thing that happened in the mid-20th century where several million people were killed in Europe, and I think the world would be better off with them. What do you guys say?
The value of the money people have is so much further than it used to be. A poor person today is living at the level of a middle-class person in the 80s, which is not that long ago. So we're actually doing quite well in that regard. But even if we weren't, I'm not sure that killing people is my first go-to.
So Malthusian theory, Malthusian economics, has basically been disproved over the past 50 years. Paul Ehrlich was one of the main exponents of Malthusian population control theories. He wrote a book called The Population Bomb back in the 1960s, in which he predicted that within 15 years there would be mass starvation, hundreds of millions of people dying from starvation. And in the mid-'80s, he made a bet with another social scientist named Julian Simon. And Julian Simon said to him, pick any 5 commodities, any 5, and tell me that the price is going to go up, meaning that we're going to hit scarcity levels because of overpopulation. And Ehrlich picked 5, and Simon says, I don't care which 5 you pick, the price will go down over time because human ingenuity is so much more powerful than population forces. Simon won the bet, Ehrlich lost the bet, Ehrlich still teaches at Berkeley. So it doesn't seem to matter who's right and who's wrong in this particular debate. The fact is that the population now sustained on planet Earth is well over 7 billion. A century ago, it was significantly less than half of that. But we are now living more prosperously across virtually every area of the world, specifically because human ingenuity is so grand and great, and killing off incipient human life, forget about the moral problem of killing human beings, killing off the creativity of 60 million additional human beings means killing our own future.
So, yeah, was that kind of crazy or what? I mean, he literally was advocating for just the extermination of people. Like, whoa. And did y'all see the Bernie shirt? My goodness. Oh, man. I'm assuming he's a leftist, right? And so currently, basically, what he was kind of saying is that we're overpopulated, so we should maybe close the borders? Maybe? Huh? He said we're overpopulated, so I wonder if he would be for closing the borders. We have too many people here. Jobs are stagnant, or jobs are scarce, wages are stagnant, so why are we bringing in more people? I don't know. But then also, have you guys noticed that whenever these folks like get up and start asking questions, they can never like just ask a direct question, just like a 30-second or less question. Like it's always like extra fluff involved in it. Just on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then sometimes the host or whoever they're talking to is like, so what exactly is your question? Because they've just continually just rambled on and on and on and never truly asked the question. Goodness gracious. Anyway, yeah, I definitely agree with Ben and the guys there. Putting that many people in pie boxes. There was a quote. I don't know who came up with it, but they said it goes, the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because there you'll find, a bunch of different ideas, the cure to certain things and all of this stuff. And he's advocating for just knocking off folks, which, as Ben Shapiro alluded to, knocks off a bunch of fantastic ideas as well. And this theory has been tested. Oh, when I forgot the two gentlemen that he mentioned. Oh, in X amount of time, these things are going to be scarce. Well, I mean, now we're kind of in a little bit of a pickle, but it ain't because of population. It's because, the powers that be don't want us here, so they're intentionally doing some things. You know what I'm saying? Gotta mumble a little bit with my words, okay? You catch my drift, okay? You catch my drift. But as always, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.